Welcome to today's Deep Dives. If you're tuning in, you are most likely gearing up for the 2025 Tour Guide Practical English Interview.
Right, and specifically we're focusing on the Seoul region's past questions, questions 1 through 9 today.
Yeah, the big 9. And look, we know your time is valuable, you're studying, you're stressed, so we are cutting the fluff today.
Exactly. No typical banter. We are jumping into a very strict back-to-back, one-on-one mock interview role play.
Right, because just memorizing a textbook answer isn't going to cut it. You have to sound natural. So I'm going to step into the shoes of the formal English interviewer. I'll be asking the prompts.
And I'll be acting as the ideal candidate. So I'll be delivering the high-scoring answers based on our source material, but, in a conversational way.
So for you listening, I want you to imagine you are sitting right there in the exam room with us. Listen to how the candidate structures their thoughts, right? Moving from modern trends to heritage, all the way down to crisis management.
Yeah, pay attention to the flow.
Okay, let's just jump right in. Candidate, welcome. Let's start with modern tourism trends. Question 1. How has technological advancement, specifically AI, impacted the tourism industry, and how should tour guides cope with this change?
Well, thank you for the question. I'd say AI and big data are fundamentally transforming the industry by offering, hyper-personalized travel experiences.
Interesting. Could you give me a specific example?
Sure. So AI travel assistants can instantly recommend an optimal schedule for a tourist based on their preferences. And technologies like VR and AR, they provide these immersive pre-visit virtual experiences.
Okay, so it's highly efficient. But then how do you defend your own role? How do you cope as a human guide?
Right. Well, I acknowledge that AI is an incredible tool for data processing, but it has a major limitation. It completely lacks human empathy. I mean, an AI can't convey genuine Korean warmth or hospitality, right? So as a guide, my strategy is to differentiate myself through unique human storytelling. Instead of just delivering raw information, which AI can do faster, I would focus on emotional connections and reading the atmosphere of my tour group.
That's a very solid pivot. I like that you aren't fighting the technology. So let's look at another trend. Question 5. Why is Korea considered a leading destination for medical tourism?
Medical tourism in Korea is booming, and I'd base that on 3 main pillars. First is the combination of highly skilled doctors and state-of-the-art facilities.
Many Western countries have great doctors too.
They do, but that brings me to the second pillar, which is extreme cost-effectiveness. The procedures here offer world-class quality, but at a much more competitive price point compared to, say, the US or Europe.
I see. And the third pillar?
The third is the Hallyu influence, the Korean wave.
Wait, how does pop culture connect to medical treatments?
It's actually a huge driver for wellness and aesthetic procedures, things like plastic surgery and advanced skincare. Tourists see the standard of beauty and wellness in K-dramas or K-pop, and they want to experience that exact standard of care. Add in Korea's world-class hospitality, like full translation and coordination services, and it's an unbeatable package.
Very clear structure. Let's zoom out to a macro level now. Question 2. Explain the economic and social effects of hosting mega sports events in Korea.
Mega sports events like the Olympics or the World Cup bring massive immediate and long-term benefits. Economically, they dramatically boost tourism revenue.
Like local businesses?
Exactly. Hotels, restaurants, local transport, they all see a huge surge. But socially, it's about global reputation.
Give me some historical context on that.
Sure. So the 1988 Seoul Olympics were pivotal. They promoted a very safe, advanced image of Korea to the world. And more recently, the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics did the same. And finally, there's the legacy aspect. These events create long-term infrastructure stadiums, new transport networks, which provide jobs and benefit the local citizens for decades after the event ends.
Good use of the word legacy. Okay, question 3. This is a newer concept. How would you define voluntourism?
Voluntourism is exactly what it sounds like. It combines volunteering with tourism. The main goal is to help local communities rather than just passively sightseeing.
What kind of help are we talking about?
Its focus is heavily on social contribution. So teaching local children, building infrastructure, or protecting nature.
It sounds quite hands-on.
It is, yeah. And because you are living closely with locals and doing this physical work, it fosters a much deeper cultural understanding and emotional connection. Plus, it directly supports sustainable development by bringing labor and financial aid to developing areas.
Excellent. Okay, let's shift gears entirely. I want to test your knowledge of Korean heritage. Question 4. Describe the historical significance and the preservation science of the Tripitaka Koreana.
The Tripitaka Koreana is a collection of over 80,000 wooden printing blocks. They were carved during the Goryeo dynasty.
And what was the purpose of carving so many blocks?
It was actually a defense mechanism. They carved them to invoke the power of Buddha to protect the country from the Mongol invasions. And today, it stands as the world's most comprehensive, oldest, and most error-free collection of Buddhist scriptures.
That covers the history. But they are made of wood. How have they survived for over 700 years without rotting?
That's the preservation science part, which is incredible. They are stored in the Heinsa Temple Jengyang Panjan, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
What's special about that building?
It uses a purely natural ventilation system.
Yeah.
The building is scientifically designed to perfectly maintain temperature and humidity without a single electric wire.
How does it do that?
Well, the windows are different sizes to create natural air currents, and the foundation of the building is packed with charcoal, salt, and lime. Yeah, so during the humid summers, those materials absorb the moisture, and in the dry winters, they release it. It's a completely passive, natural climate control system that has prevented decay for 7 centuries.
That is a phenomenal answer. Let's move to another cultural masterpiece. Question 7. Explain the excellence of Hangul and recommend a related tourist attraction.
Hangul is truly unique because it was deliberately invented, not naturally evolved. It was created in 1443 by King Sejong the Great.
And why is it considered excellent, logically speaking?
Because of its scientific design. The consonants were created to literally mimic the exact positions of your vocal organs like your tongue, throat, and lips when you make the sounds.
Wait, really? The letters are diagrams of the mouth.
Exactly.
Huh.
And the vowels are based on philosophical principles. Heaven, earth, and humanity. Because it's so logical, it's incredibly easy to learn, which is why Korea has such a high literacy rate today. Even UNESCO recognizes this with the King Sejong Literacy Prize.
Very thorough. Now, where would you send a tourist who wants to learn more about this?
I would highly recommend the National Hangul Museum. It's right next to the National Museum of Korea in Yongsan, so it's very convenient. It beautifully showcases the whole invention process. And of course, taking them to see the King Sejong statue at Gwanghwamun Plaza is a must.
Great recommendations.
Oh.
Okay, question 8. Please provide a brief summary of Korea's national parks.
Korea currently has 22 national parks, and they are managed by the Korea National Park Service.
Can you highlight a couple of key examples for me?
Absolutely. The first one you should know is Jirisan. It was the very first national park designated in Korea, and it remains the largest terrestrial park.
And the second?
Hallasan, down on Jeju Island. Hallasan is incredibly special because it holds 3 separate UNESCO crowns.
Which are?
It's a natural heritage site, a biosphere reserve, and a global geopark. So it's recognized for its aesthetic beauty, its ecological conservation, and its unique volcanic geology all at once.
Very concise, thank you. Now, candidate, we're going to move into the final phase of the interview, situational crisis management.
Okay, I'm ready.
Question 6. You are leading a group tour. Suddenly, you realize a tourist is missing. Walk me through your exact protocol.
First, I would stay calm to prevent the rest of the group from panicking. Step 1 is to retrace our immediate steps and try to contact the missing guest directly via a phone call or SNS.
Okay, but what if they don't pick up? Are you going to go look for them?
Not immediately, no. Step 2 is securing the rest of the group. I need to move the remaining tourists to a safe, designated waiting area and instruct them to stay put. If I run off searching, I risk losing more people.
That's a very good point. So the group is secure. What's step 3?
If the guest is still unreachable, I escalate. I report the situation to the local site staff, the police, and my travel agency so they can mobilize a proper search.
Good.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could do to prevent this in the first place?
Absolutely. Prevention is key. Before I ever let a group disperse for free time, I always reconfirm the exact meeting time and location. I do it verbally, and I write it down on a board or paper so there is zero ambiguity.
I love that. Zero ambiguity. All right, final question. Question 9. You're on a tour and one of your customers suddenly becomes sick. What do you do?
My absolute priority is the guest's health, while also keeping the rest of the group safe and informed. So step 1 is assessment. I immediately check the severity of their symptoms.
How do you do that?
I'd ask about their pain level, check if they have any known allergies or if they have any pre-existing conditions.
Let's say it's minor, just a bit of indigestion or motion sickness.
For a minor issue, I'd manage it on the spot, provide some water, help them rest in a comfortable spot, and maybe visit a nearby pharmacy for basic medicine. I'd also slightly adjust the schedule so they don't feel rushed, but the rest of the group can still enjoy the tour.
Okay, but what if it's serious? What if they're in severe pain?
If it's serious, I escalate instantly. I call 119 and accompany the sick tourist to the hospital. But critically, I would immediately use the 1330 travel hotline for translation support.
Let me stop you there. You speak English, you're taking this English interview. Why wouldn't you just translate for the doctor yourself?
Because medical terminology is highly specific. And in a true emergency, there is no room for error. My adrenaline will be high, and I'll be managing the logistics of the group and the agency.
Right.
The 1330 hotline provides professional medical-grade interpretation. Relying on them ensures that critical information like drug allergies is communicated perfectly between the doctor and the patient.
That shows excellent judgment.
What else? While that's happening, I would also notify the travel agency and contact the tourist's travel insurance provider so we can handle the administrative side of the emergency smoothly.
And scene. We can drop the formal act now. That concludes the mock interview.
Phew, okay. Handle the pressure.
You really did. And for you listening, congratulations on making it through that. That was a rigorous set of 9 core questions.
It's a lot of material, but did you notice the underlying theme in all those answers?
Yeah, let's synthesize that. Because whether you were talking about the scientific brilliance of the Tripitaka Koreana, or the personalized future of AI, or how to handle a medical emergency, the answers always came back to the same core things.
Exactly. It's about structural logic, deep cultural knowledge, and most importantly, human empathy. A successful guide anchors every single response in those 3 things.
Right. They don't just want a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
They want to see that you genuinely care about the people you're guiding and that you deeply respect the heritage you're representing.
Which is exactly why AI can't replace us.
Exactly. And that brings us to our final thought for today. A little something for you to mull over before your exam.
Yeah.
The sources make it very clear that AI is going to handle the logistics of travel in the future, but it cannot replicate the emotional connection and the storytelling of a human guide.
It just can't.
So as you prepare for your own interview, ask yourself this: what is the unique personal story or trait that you possess? What are you going to show those examiners that proves your human touch is completely irreplaceable?
Good luck out there. You've got this.